Hello, good morning, and welcome. Um, I just thought I would put this over today because it's my last day off today, and I'm back to working and into normal life tomorrow. And I am full of anticipation because what I've done over the last 3 days has been absolutely incredible. I've reached so many people and achieved so many goals that I wanted to do to kind of make a difference and put my book out there and my words out there and who I am, and actually like have a glimpse of living my dream. So it's actually become more than I really did anticipate because of the amount of people that I've reached with just my words or just me talking about my book. And the one thing that I've or a couple of things that I've kind of like got out of this is about never giving up. No matter what happens, never give up. Whether it's your dream or your goal or a place or a situation or a person or anything that makes you think that it's not possible, but somewhere along the lines it is possible, because if you kind of look back at what you've achieved in your life and what you've done, and then you have that other thought in your head that you had all those fears and all those anxieties and all those things that made you think or feel that you couldn't do it, but then you got up and done it. You went out there, you did what you needed to do, whether it was for yourself or your family, for your career, for your job, for anything that you had to fight for, anything that you felt that you needed to do to protect yourself or your family. And it's those second thoughts that ebb into your dreams. See, I've had dreams and nightmares all my life. And this is where it kind of made me hide from everything that I ever went through in my life before recovery. And I had dreams and nightmares, mostly nightmares, all my life. And if I could write down a story about all the second thoughts that you've ever had, the it's almost like those thoughts, those second thoughts that you thought about but you didn't act on, because they're the ones that come into your unconscious state of mind when you're dreaming or you're having nightmares, because it's the things that you should have said or the things that you should have done or maybe you would have done if you hadn't had that fear, that anticipation. And I spent my entire life living like that, with those second thoughts of knowing that what I could have been and who I could have been actually could have been possible, but I never said it. All those little things that come up in your life where what you think and what you do or how you act is different. It's two different things. And we all go through so many things in our lives that set challenges and feed upon our fears and our anxieties by something that was created in the beginning that held you up from a conscious state of thinking and feeling in a normal state, in a normal way. So you create this whole other world inside you, and if you haven't got the outlet, and if you can't say, if you have that fear, it stays within you. And it's those second thoughts that stay inside you that you use on, what you drink on, what you act upon. And I took on survival mode. I did what was safe for me. I said what I needed to say, and I did what I needed to do in order for me to just get through the day. But knowing in the back of my mind there was something else playing. Is that those little voices or those little visions in the back of your mind playing over, but you push them down because you're too scared. If you let them go, it's the consequences or the possible consequences of how it's going to turn out. Because you look out to the world and you kind of see images and of what happens to you when you're different, when your thought processes are different, because they're not standard practice. They're not what you're learning from normal parenting and normal school and normal lives. It's like building up a jigsaw puzzle and you've got pieces missing throughout that jigsaw puzzle, and you fill them with the wrong pieces and they never quite fit. So you try to fix it. You try to kind of do things that make you feel comfortable and make you feel safe and make you feel like you matter, that you're not insignificant. But you can only quick fix things for so long until the mountain or the warehouse of those blocked away memories, those blocked away actions and thoughts all come to a point where it overflows into your normal patterns of life, your normal functionalities in your life. And when that time comes when something happens and it stops you, like my recovery, I found somebody that I could identify with, because when they were telling me their story, it was like they were telling me my story. And I stopped and I thought and I listened and I thought, oh my God, I'm not alone. Maybe this is like a warning, because that is what the dreams were about. The dreams were my warnings of being in that pit or that cavern or that quarry of disaster, and looking up and seeing all these people standing around, just standing there. But they weren't just ordinary people. They were people from my past. They were people from my present. And strangely enough, they were people from my future that I had not even met yet. And me trying to climb up those broken walls and ripping my skin apart and falling back down and crawling back up and falling back down was a message that I had to change. I had to do something because I was awakening. You know, I was awakening to all the possibilities, to that window of opportunities, to that thing of maybe there is another world out there. And literally, when I lost everything and I found myself within this other world of different people, different lives, different situations, that everything else opened up. And what I was thinking inside actually made a difference, actually mattered. And when that mattered, then I mattered. And that's why I started writing. Because I had to get out of my head what was in my head in order to stop what was in my head killing me or breaking me apart or giving me this massive nervous breakdown or a relapse or whatever it was. Because sometimes when you look so hard at your problems, you don't look beyond for the answers. You concentrate on the problem, and it's no good concentrate on the problem if you can't move forward, if you can't move beyond it. Because when you can move beyond it and you can look beyond it, it's like Mr. Fix-It. Look beyond the problem to find the answer, and the answers are there because you're not wasting your energy, your negative energy of burying yourself in the problem. You can't stop and you think and you look beyond it. Okay, this is the situation. Now look to fix it. Look to deal with it. Look to cope with it. And move on. Look at the possibilities. Look at the answers. Because they're there. And even though I was down and out and with nothing, the people that I got in contact with, the people that I was associating with, the people that I was listening to, who were going through the very same things that I was going through, gave me the window of opportunity to see beyond my problems, because I could see they had similar problems, but they were doing, and everybody was doing something different towards helping themselves to recover and move on, learn and grow. And that's where I noticed as well that throughout my life I've had guiding forces of people who have guided me in a direction of whichever way I needed to go to survive in everything aspect of my life to get me to that point. It was like, it was where all the what ifs came into play. Because I realized that if I hadn't have made that phone call the first night before I started volunteering in Essex, I wouldn't be here now. But for a split second, I stopped myself going out that door and going on the street and scoring, because I was so ripped apart by what I'd been through that night. I had that second thought to be courteous, to be respectful, to be to the people that were trying to help me. And one phone call made a difference. Because what I received was the opposite reaction to what I was expecting. according to my usual behavioral thought process and patterns. And because I was at that point, I didn't feel good enough, that I felt like I was going to be a letdown, and I'd failed again. Because that was what I always felt like all the way through my life, that everything I tried, I failed. And I had fell back into that point where I was controlled by everyone to do everything that they wanted me to do, no matter whether I liked it or not. Just following what they wanted, but not what I needed. So I made that phone call, and everything changed. Literally everything changed. Because the response I got was relaxed, was kind, was considerate, was compassionate, was, hey, it's okay, just get here when you can, it's no problem, we need you here. And that blew me away. That made me stop and think. And I changed everything. And it literally that night, it changed the course of my life. Because I wouldn't be here doing this now if I wouldn't have made that phone call, if I wouldn't have stopped myself for that split second and have that second thought. And changed the course of my life. Because it wasn't a matter of survival, it was a matter of doing the right thing to what you feel that you need to do for you. What's right and comfortable and safe for what you need in yourself. And here I am. Someone once believed in me enough to say, write down what you feel, and it doesn't matter how it comes out, just write it down in any words that you want and get it out of you. Share it. Do what you want with it, because somewhere along the line it's gonna touch someone. It's gonna make somebody think or feel differently because of your honesty and your openness and you saying your thoughts in your head about your fears and your anxieties and your paranoias. Get beyond it, let it out, put it out into the world. Find the connection. Find the similarities. Then you will see a way through. And you'll also be helping other people at the same time. Giving other people permission, or giving other people the opportunity, or giving other people the second thought that maybe if he can do it or you can do it, then maybe I can do it. Because that was what I was thinking when I was sat in meetings, listening to these people, thinking, wow, well, if they can do it, then maybe I can do it. And I began to appreciate that, what I had. And as I carried on writing, as I carried on, doing these magazines and doing these projects and stuff, I began to feel like I had value in my life. That what I'd been through mattered and had value. And it had meaning. And I was significant in my own life. And that I had something to share. Something to put out to the world. I'm not just somebody's tool. I'm not just somebody's thing to be told what to do or where to go. I have a mind of my own. and I can act upon it appropriately because I value myself, because I matter, because I am not insignificant. And I have something to say. And as my therapist once said, if you've got something to say and a way to say it, freaking shout it from the rooftops. Because it's your truth. And people will know if it's your truth because of your identifications, of what you say from inside, of how you feel from inside. And you can't learn that. You can't be trained on that. It's inside you. And nobody can access what's inside you until you let it out and you show it to the world, and the world will identify the unspoken word for the silent few. And that's what I do. And this is why, however nervous I feel now doing this, because my mind's playing games about what I've got to do tomorrow and next day and the next day and next week, and building up all those fears or anticipations and blocks. I'm acting upon what I need to do now, and it's put something out to the world to say, hey, this is me, I'm scared and I'm nervous, but I'm fucking gonna try and get this through, and I'm gonna do this and carry on no matter what. I had a situation a while back where I found something inside me that I didn't know I had, and I found a new energy, a new drive, a new thought process, a new pattern that I didn't realize I had. And it made me the best version of myself. It brought out some of the worst part of me, but it brought out the very best of me. And I'm thinking, I've got to get this out now. I've got to use this. So I'm doing it. And I'm at that. I have things to kind of prepare for. And I'm finally getting my systems up and running. I'm ready for next week, because that's going to be the big tell. That's going to be where the work begins, because this is where I'm going to be going through the process of making change in my life, but living life at the same time. And that's the challenge. That's the biggest challenge. I did it once when I had nothing and I had no career or job or anything, and I changed my life from nothing. Now the challenge is to change my life with a life going on at the same time. And I know that sounds almost impossible, but hey, here I am, and I'm going to be doing it, and I'm going to put it out to the world, and I'm going to show the world it's bloody possible. And no matter what is inside me that's making me feel the things that hurt the most, that's okay to feel, because it meant something important to me. So now I'm moving on, and now I'm creating a life. Now I'm going to be doing something, creating a life within a life. It'll happen, slowly but surely, baby steps. It's just a little bit at a time. So for now, everybody stay safe, look after each other, and care about who you are. Look after your family. Look after your friends. Even if it's just a little hello or how are you, it all matters. Keep with the contact, because it all makes a big, that little thing makes a big, big difference. Okay, I'm going to sign off now and do some more sorting out and setting up and organising, because I've got a lot to prepare for next week or the week ahead. I'm looking beyond the problems with solutions, or possible solutions. See how my head goes. But anyway, thank you. Oh, and thank you so much for all the new followers and all the people that have been checking out my pages. I am so, so grateful. And please pop by and have a look at my YouTube videos, because I've been looking at them and they're like, wow, I actually did that. But it's worth a look anyway, worth a listen. Sorry about the quality, it will improve. But hey. Okay, thank you again. Take care, stay safe, and be happy. You are all worth so much to me, because you're all part of this thing we are creating now. Okay, bye-bye for now.